Hello and welcome to Fremtec College of Technology. We provide courses in web development, cyber security, digital forensics, and blockchain. And any course can be customized as far as in technology and also entrepreneurship and business management. So when you sign up for our course, the first thing that we do is to check on your machine to identify if it meets the minimum requirements for the setup of the lab, because our courses are practical and hands-on, and we do set up a virtual lab for you. So there are three types of lab, and the first one is VirtualBox, which is free and open source. We also have VMware, which you need license to be able to run your applications. We also have Hyper-V, which is owned by Microsoft. So for our case, we do set up VirtualBox for our students, and the minimum requirement is that their laptop should at least have 500 GB of hard disk, and also they should also have a good speed, and also at least from Core i5 is okay, because of the machines can be a bit heavy. So this is the VirtualBox, and in this machine I have close to around 11-12 machines, and briefly taking the students through these machines. This is what basically that we use when we are training the students. We have Metasploitable. This is a machine that can be exploited. It has different sets of exploitations and vulnerabilities. We have Kali, which is the main machine that is used for testing the security of other machines within the virtual network. We have PFSense. This is the firewall, because as a security professional you must understand how a firewall operates and the issues of configurations and all that. We also have Active Directory, which is a Microsoft operating system, a server that is used to manage Microsoft environment in a LAN environment. We have Ubuntu. So we learn also Linux as an operating system, because most of exercises in cyber, in forensics, in web, most of applications will run on a Linux environment. And just to basically take you through the basic setup of a virtual machine, you need to have an ISO. ISO is the operating system that you are going to set up. And if we can just go into our website so that you can be able to see who we are, what our vision and mission, why should you be able to join us. Sorry. So that is Wi-Fi for the institution. We provide free Wi-Fi to all our students. So all you need is either your phone or your laptop, and you'll be given a user ID that you can be able to use, basically for your own research and also your own learning. So why us? So we provide practical and hands-on trainings. We provide placement to different industries. When you are through with the training, you'll get a free .co.k if you are doing a course in web development. Our students automatically becomes members of the campus mentor lab, which is an initiative to provide mentorship to different students. Of course, our trainers are experienced people working in the industry. We also provide testing labs, and every student of cyber and forensics, they get a free virtual private server on the cloud for a period of 3 months when they are training with us. And the server will contain different tests and exercises so that they can learn to do a real test on a real environment. Of course, the internet is free, and we'll also have access to mentors who will be able to guide you in the process of your growth. If you can basically check at basically what virtualization means, it describes a technology in which an application, a guest operating system, or a data storage is abstracted away from the true underlying hardware or software. And the key use of virtualization technology is server virtualization. So you need one physical machine, which is the host machine, and also you'll have other virtual machines, which is what we are going to go through basically here. So you have to name the operating system that you are setting. Let's call it FCT, and maybe it's a Windows application or a Windows server that you want to set up. Go to next. You have to identify how much memory do you want to use. Like the machine has 8 GB, and we are going to assign this virtual machine 2 GB. The hard disk, you're going to create a virtual hard disk. There's a hard disk that you can copy off into your flash disk and go and mount it in another computer, and that is the beauty of it. And of course you can increase the size of your hard disk, and there are different types of virtual hard disk. There's VDI, VHD, VMDK. All of them, they make sure that they are going to be compatible with other platforms of virtualization, and VDI is the best because it has that close compatibility with other virtualization platforms. Next, do you want the hard disk to grow dynamically or for it to be fixed in size? So if you have a server that is 50 GB but it grows exponentially according to the usage, you have to facilitate for it to increase. So that is why we select dynamically allocated. So if you want to change the name, you can change there. Then you have to specify what size of disk are you going to use, and it doesn't mean that it will use that 2 GB of the hard disk. No, there's some mapping that are done between the host and the virtual machine, so it will not practically use that 2 GB or whatever you set it here. Then you just create the machine. Then you go to the settings of the machine, whereby you can be able to change the name. You can be able to give description. Maybe this is just a training machine. Then you want to encrypt the hard disk because of issues of security, such that if someone steals this virtual machine, they will not be in a position to mount it somewhere else without the encryption key. Then when you go to the system, almost everything here is by default. Then for the processor, some machine works if you enable PAE, and when checked, it's called physical address extension. The features of the host CPU will be exposed to the virtual machine. So some machines will require you to have that. Display, that is to do with the display on how the virtual machine will display. This is very important. The storage, there is SATA, and the other one is IDE. In our case, the most of machines nowadays, they run on SATA because it is a new technology than IDE, and this is where you are going to specify where you have stored your ISO.ISO machine. So for instance, this is Ubuntu. You can see it has an extension of that ISO. You can get it from their website. Then you can just drop this. So we have that. So the machine is not installed yet. It's like you have just inserted it in a DVD or CD drive. Then audio. So for network, we have up to 4 adapters. So the first adapter is to make sure that we share the network. The host network shares with the virtual machine's network card. It will make sure that the virtual machine has internet access. So you can make the other adapter something like internal network, meaning that if you have many virtual machines, they can be able to talk to each other. So that is what we mean by internal network. You can have other additional network cards as per the usage of your virtual machine. So do you want to mount a flash disk so that you can be able to access it within the virtual environment? Do you want to share? You can share documents. Let's share Fremtec there. So it can be read only, or it can auto mount when you start the operating system. So when you are done, there we are. Then you can start the machine, or you can either right click, clone. It's cloning the machine, just as the word says. You can start. You can just have a normal start. Let us start and see. So that is the basic process of setting up a virtual machine in a virtual box environment. So the next class will take you through the process of installing Ubuntu in a virtual environment. So make sure that you subscribe to that class. Thank you.